Greetings class, welcome to Duel Academy. Professor Rivas here, and this will be your fourth and final lesson of your second class of spells and traps, normal, continuous, and counter traps. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to be up to date with the latest Duel Academy lessons and assessments. So without further ado, get your deck, get your game on, and let's get started. Trap cards will help you out with different effects, just like spell cards. The big difference between them though, is that you can activate trap cards during your opponent's turn. Many spell cards have effects useful for offense, but trap cards have the ability to surprise the opponent by disrupting their attacks and strategies. Using trap cards can sometimes be tricky since your opponent might have to do certain things before you can unleash them. Now before you activate a trap card, you must set it on the field first. You cannot activate a trap in the same turn that you set it, but you can activate it at any time after that, starting from the beginning of the next turn. The first type of trap card we're going to talk about are normal trap cards. Normal trap cards have single-use effects, and once their effects are resolved, they will be sent to the graveyard just like normal spell cards. They are also similar to normal spell cards because once activated, their effects are not likely to be stopped. However, your opponent can destroy your face-down trap cards on the turn you set them, or before the time is right to activate them. Because of this, you must be smart about how you use your trap cards. For today's normal trap examples, we have some early classics, Mirror Force and Magic Cylinder. Mirror Force reads, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, destroy all attack position monsters your opponent controls. While Magic Cylinder reads, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, target the attacking monster, negate the attack, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to its attack. You can see that traps can be useful to disrupt your opponent's play when they're not suspecting it. As stated before, trap cards must be set on the field before activating. However, here are some exceptions. Makura the Destructor allows you to activate one trap card from your hand if Makura is sent from the field to the graveyard. Delta Crow Anti-Reverse can activate itself from the hand if you control exactly 3 Blackwing monsters. An Infinite Impermanence can activate from the hand if you control no cards. As you can see, there are some cards that bend the rules of setting a trap on the field before activating them. There are also normal traps that act like equip cards and will remain on the field until it's either destroyed by another card effect, or if the equipped monster is destroyed or flipped face down, kind of like equip spells. Some examples include Blast with Chain and Horn of the Phantom Beast. The next type of trap cards we'll be discussing are continuous trap cards. Just like continuous spell cards, continuous trap cards remain on the field once they are activated and their effects continue while they are face up on the field. Some continuous trap cards have abilities similar to the ignition effects or trigger effects that can be found on effect monster cards. Continuous trap cards can have effects that limit your opponent's options or that slowly damage your opponent's life points. For today's continuous trap examples, we have Gravity Bind and Royal Decree. Gravity Bind reads, level 4 or higher monsters cannot attack, while Royal Decree reads, negate all other trap card effects on the field. These traps may be considered as floodgates, which is an unofficial term that is used to describe a continuous effect that limits one or both players from performing some action. As stated before, continuous traps stay on the field after activation until the player can no longer maintain the cost/condition, or it gets destroyed. As long as it remains face up on the field, the effect is active. There are also continuous traps known as trap monsters. These trap monsters include Abyss Stingray, Copy Knight, Embodiment of Apophis, Metal Reflect Slime, and many more. As you can see, trap monsters may include an attribute, type, level, and attack/defense stats. To use these cards, you would first set it on the field in the spell and trap zone. Once set for a turn, you can activate the trap and it will special summon itself as a monster onto the monster zone. If a trap monster is flipped face down by a card effect, It is returned face down on a spell and trap zone. Trap monsters are useful for getting many monsters onto your side of the field to build your defense or attack, as well as have resources on the field to tribute summon, or better yet, special summon from the extra deck, which includes fusion summoning, synchro summoning, Xyz summoning, and link summoning. These advanced summoning techniques will be learned in a future class. Normal and continuous traps are classified as spell speed 2, which means they can respond to spell speed 1 and other spell speed 2 effects. The third and final type of trap cards are counter traps. These trap cards are normally activated in response to the activation of other cards, and may have abilities like negating the effects of those cards. These types of traps are effective against normal spell cards and normal trap cards, which are otherwise hard to stop. However, many counter trap cards require a cost to activate them. For today's counter trap examples, we have Solemn Judgment and Negate Attack. Solemn Judgment reads, when a monster would be summoned or a spell/trap card is activated, pay half your life points, negate the summon or activation, and if you do, destroy that card. Negate Attack reads, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, target the attacking monster, negate the attack, then end the battle phase. Counter traps are classified as a spell speed 3, which means they can respond to spell speed 1, spell speed 2, and spell speed 3 effects. Since counter trap cards are the only spell speed 3 cards, only other counter traps can respond to them. Most counter traps are used to negate or punish the activation of other cards or the summoning of a monster. Counter traps can be activated during the damage step as well. A popular series of counter trap cards include the Solemn cards, which include Solemn Judgment, Solemn Warning, Solemn Strike, and Solemn Scolding. Thank you so much for attending this class. There will be a quiz in this lesson, so don't forget to take it. Also, your final exam will come soon afterwards. I hope you have a great day, and class dismissed.